Hi, my name is Marcela Amaya Zavala. I was born in Vancouver, and my mom, she came here originally from El Salvador. My mom was 20 years old when she first made the decision to move to Canada. She knew she wanted to leave El Salvador since she was really young, and she wanted to have kids, and she wanted her kids to have an opportunity in a different country where they'll, be taken care of and treated equally. Her sisters, they hitchhiked and went to Mexico, and they stayed in Mexico for some time until eventually they made connections with this person called a coyote. And coyotes are people that know their way around the border, and they're able to trek through waters and guide people across the US, or to the US from Mexico. And it was a very scary ordeal for my mom, because sometimes coyotes can turn around and take your money and kill you, or take you for kidnap and ransom. She made it to the US, and she stayed in Texas, I believe. She got her citizenship there, but she had an option to either move to Canada or stay in the US. So she decided to move to Canada, and for some reason it was Vancouver, BC. And ever since then, she stayed here. My mom has always been the type of woman to be very open and very loving, and she'll go out of her way to make anyone feel comfortable. Growing up in Vancouver, where it's predominantly Asian, I do feel excluded from a lot of the things, even just in friendship circles, because a lot of my friends are from Asian countries. A lot of the times there's misconceptions about me being Hispanic. Like, they'll ask if I speak Mexican, and I don't speak Mexican, I speak Spanish. And I feel like that happens a lot because in media and cartoons and in photography and stuff, there's a really bad representation of the Hispanic community and so many other communities as well. I find knowing your ancestry is really important in order to belong somewhere. Because if I didn't know if I had no connection with being El Salvadorian, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be a proud Hispanic girl. I would be kind of ashamed, I think. And at one point I was, because I didn't understand my heritage very well. Now I'm starting to learn about it through my mom, and learning how to make traditional foods like pupusas and tamales and horchata and stuff like that. And it's really wonderful to be able to connect through that and belong in another community and not just one. One thing that my mom's always told me is to try to make everyone comfortable, and to make sure you're comfortable too, because she knows that everyone has that potential to be positive and to make a difference. And you yourself have a potential to make a difference in someone else's life, even if it's just for a moment. The way I got involved with Leave Out Violence, L.O.V.E BC, was through the BYRC Broadway Youth Resource Center. And at the time, I was struggling with a lot of depression and anxiety and trouble with school and not attending. And so my attendance was really poor. And my youth worker, she was telling me about the BYRC and how they have this organization called Leave Out Violence. And yeah, they've been a really big part of my life and a really huge support, and there's no hierarchy here. And it's very one-to-one and intimate, and they go out of their way to make you feel comfortable and secure. And it's always a place where if you're in a crisis you can go to, if you just want to hang out you can go to, and I really like that. For me, belonging is when I can feel like I can say I'm safe and I know the direction I'm heading. So like in Vancouver, I can see the mountains and I know where I'm facing, or I see a certain building or a landmark and I know I'm there. And being surrounded by friends in a community where I know I'm supported and I know I'm being held up and I know I can feel loved and welcomed. L.O.V.E helped me find my passion for filmmaking and photography. At first it started with simple point and shoot cameras, and then eventually I began doing more advanced stuff and actually having a small job in film as well and working for independent youth films. And yeah, that was a really big help for me because I discovered what I really want to do, what subjects were really important to me. The reason I guess I was a filmmaker, or still am, was because I could always find a way to fit in and I could always help out. And I really want to see a change in social media and television and film, because there's so many misconceptions and they show certain like cultures and people very wrong. A goal for me, if I really do pursue film, is to be a blockbuster film director and to be female and not to let white old men take over that scene, because there has to be more female directors in that medium.